How's it going, everyone? So I recently bought a vintage SLR camera about a month ago. I bought it and I just wanted to talk about it, like my experience with it, because this is kind of my first time like dabbling in film photography. The last time I shot film was probably when I was 10 years old with a disposable camera, and that's about all I've ever done with film. I bought this camera about a month ago from eBay. It's this one, the Pentax K1000. If you're familiar with film photography, you've probably heard of it. I've never heard of it until I started like researching on which one to get. This one was like in all the top 10 like beginner cameras, I guess, along with like a Canon AE1. Yeah, I bought it like a month ago from eBay and it was $50 total. I think it was 40 plus taxes and shipping, so it wasn't too bad. I didn't want to spend like a bunch of money on it because I'm not sure like how long I'm gonna stick with this. I don't know. It's kind of like a new thing, so I'm just getting into it, and I didn't want to sink a bunch of money like right up front into it because it's already kind of like an expensive hobby to begin with, and it doesn't seem like you need like a super high-end camera, especially to get started. If it were up to me, I probably would have just got a free one from a family member or something, but I don't think they've got any lying around or anything like that, so I'm sure a lot of people like can get one from their grandparents or something, you know. But this one, I've seen these go like in good condition. This one's like in super good condition, and like I don't know, I've seen them go for up to $200, which I would not have spent that much on it. This one came with two lenses, the 50mm prime and the 70 to 200mm zoom lens. And I haven't really used the zoom lens like a whole lot since I've been using it. Pretty much just the 50mm prime, which is this one. And I'm not sure, it might have come with like the camera whenever the original person bought it. Some years it did come with the kit lens, and then some years it didn't come with the lens. It's hard to say, but a lot of like pictures online I see of it have this like exact lens on it, so it probably came with the camera to begin with. And then it also included a flash and a camera bag. I recently just tried to use the flash and it did not work. It started like, I don't know if you know the sound, like when the camera's like charging up, it's like a high-pitched whine. It did that, but it never stopped. And I tried to like hit the test button and it just would never go. And then I turned it off because it started getting warm. I ended up taking it apart. I could see some of the like electronics on the inside were like corroded a little bit, so I tried to clean it off a little bit. I haven't tried it again since I tried the first time, but I'm not going to go that much farther with it. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to throw it away. Hopefully it works this time. If anything, I can just buy a different flash for it and just get something newer, I guess. If you haven't heard about this camera before, I was just going to give a short like little history about it, because it does have like a neat little history, like why it's so popular. I'm not going to go like super into detail about it, but just a little bit of info about it, you know. So this camera was manufactured in 1976 to 1997. So quite a long time for the camera. It remained like relatively the same throughout the whole time like that it was produced. I think like the longevity of it is like why it can be so, it seems like iconic to some people just because it was around for so long. And it is like super simple and well built and relatively expensive for the time that it was being produced. Like I looked it up, and the price fluctuated over the years. Obviously, I mean, it was at 20 years that it was being produced, so fluctuated over that time. But from 1994 to 97, when it was discontinued, it was $315, and adjusted for inflation, that would have been like $680. That's not horrible. I mean, you can get a good entry-level camera now for that point, like that price point. I don't think the camera was shipped out with a lens from 94 to 97, so that was just the body for $315. So it's still like not like cheap, but in terms of cameras, it is relatively inexpensive. And it went on over those years to sell over 3 million units. I've read some articles and some Reddit threads when I was researching it a little bit, and the camera is often bought by like high schools and universities for like photography classes. So a lot of people probably had this camera as their first camera, and I'd imagine there's probably some nostalgia tied to it because of that, and that's probably why people like think so fondly of it. Like a lot of the articles, when you look it up, everyone likes it a lot for the most part. Just like a quick overview of specs. I'm not going to get into super in-depth details. Really, there's not a whole lot of details about it. It's a super basic camera that's fully manual, but it's got a shutter speed from 1/1000th of a second to 1 second with a bulb mode, and a flash sync up to 1/60th of a second, and then you can use films from 8 to 6400 ASA, and it's got a built-in light meter. Although I've heard some people say that these light meters aren't super accurate, I don't know. I've been using the light meter a little bit when I've been kind of like practicing with just getting better at setting my shutter speed and aperture and getting things right. I don't know if it's super accurate or not, but I also have a light meter on my phone that I use occasionally, but I don't really want to bring it out all the time when I'm out and about. Like, it's already too many things to do at once, like worrying about the focus and then the shutter speed and aperture and then having a light meter on my phone. I just don't bother with it most of the time. I guess we'll see when I get my first roll film back how that turned out. Maybe I need to use the light meter on my phone more often. So why did I go with the Pentax K1000 over like the Canon AE1? Because that seems to be the other one that comes up all the time when you're looking up entry level like vintage SLR camera, like film SLR cameras. Really, I could have ended up with a ton of cameras. It really just came down to I found a good deal on this one and I bought it. If I would have saw a Canon first, I probably would have got it, or a Nikon or whatever. It really, to me, it seems like for these cameras, it doesn't matter a whole lot which ones you get. Some of these cameras have like an aperture priority mode where you can have more of like an automatic shooting experience, I guess. So it's a little easier to shoot. Like, you don't have to manually set everything, but I don't mind it because I'm trying to like get better at it anyways. So most of these cameras, even if they did have like an aperture priority mode, you can still shoot full manual on it. I'm pretty sure, at least. I'm not. This is the only one I've ever had, so I'm not sure. From when I was like looking them up, it seemed like that was the case. Other than that, like, I really like the fact that it's fully mechanical. So it means like it doesn't need any batteries, and I think the Canon AE1 does need a little battery for it to function. The Pentax does not need need a battery to function. It's fully mechanical, and that's like, I think that's the reason a lot of these cameras work for so long, because there's not a ton of electronics in them. They're mostly just mechanical. So like, you can't put a battery in it for the light meter. So if you don't have this little button cell battery in it, it goes in the bottom here. If you don't put it in there, the light meter won't work. But like I said before, some people say that the light meter isn't super accurate in there anyways, so if it goes out, it goes out. I mean, I bought a pack of batteries, but some people said that the little button cell lasts quite a long time in there, so, and I like to have it. It's kind of like peace of mind that I'm not just ruining every single shot, even if it is a little bit off. It's nice to have, I guess. But, and then I already mentioned the like full manual mode. It's nice to have to like practice getting better at like your shutter speed and aperture and like getting the right exposure. I'm familiar with how all of those things work together. I'm just trying to get like better and get like correct exposure without always having to use a light meter when, I mean, most of the time I will have one, because you always have one on your phone, or most of the time I'm like taking pictures with my phone or digital camera where you don't even have to worry about that a whole lot, because like with my Fujifilm camera, I'm usually like in an aperture priority mode or shutter priority. It's easier that way. Having this camera kind of makes you like slow down and think about it a little more. I also think it's pretty neat that this camera's been around for 50 years, and it'll probably continue to be around for another 50 years or more after I'm done with it, just because the fact that it is fully mechanical, there's no electronics in it, so there's not a lot that can break with it. Like, that's why there's still so many of these. Like, if you go look on eBay, there's so many vintage cameras that are still like fully functioning, like with no issues, that have been around for over 50 years, which is crazy. And they're all like well built, like high quality. Even the lower end ones, like this, an entry level one like this, feels super premium compared to a lot of stuff that we get now. I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit because I know that I've seen these cameras, like a lot of these old cameras look the same, like the silver top, the metal silver top and bottom, and then the black like leatherette feeling stuff in the middle there. They all look pretty similar. I know I've just seen them at garage sales and like flea markets, and just like I could have got them for next to nothing, but I didn't really know what I was looking at the time. So I guess I'll know next time, but I doubt people are just handing these things out nowadays, because it seems to be like they are getting more popular and more people are wanting them. So why get into film photography to begin with when I've got a digital camera on my phone that takes higher quality photos and you don't have to go get them developed? Seems better and cheaper all around. I mean, that's true, because that's like how I felt at first. The reason I kind of started getting into it is because I was getting fed, like randomly getting fed like YouTube videos of film photography a while back, and I never really watched them, especially because now film is expensive and it also takes more time than being able to just like snap a picture with your camera or your phone and see it instantly. And that was kind of something with this camera that I had to it was so weird at first. I've gotten used to it now, but when I was like, there were a couple times when I first was taking the pictures with it, I wanted to look down at it like it had a screen on the back, and there's nothing there. That's like kind of a downside, is you have to wait to get like your photo, like to develop your photos and get your scans back and everything. But I guess there's kind of an upside to that. It's like you're excited to get them back, and there's like anticipation for it. So that is kind of neat. I really, like at first I started getting fed, like trickled in like YouTube videos of like film photography YouTube channels and stuff, and I didn't really watch them. Then I'd like watch one here and there, and I kind of started getting a little bit sucked into it, and it just seemed kind of cool. But I mean, one of the obvious reasons for a lot of people, I'm sure, is I just like the look of the photos themselves. They just have like a nostalgic look to them, which makes sense, because I mean, when I was really young, like that's all the pictures of me when I was like really young were taken on like film cameras. So like all the older pictures of me are like, what is it, like the 4x6 size like printouts that everyone would get from like Walgreens. But I just like that look, and I'm sure like a lot of other people do too. And I know a lot of people say you can get like that look from editing, which I don't know if you can or not. Like the hardcore film photographers will say you can't, and then some people will say you can. Other than like the pictures, like the look of the photos themselves, I really like that it kind of like forces me to slow down when I'm taking photos, just because like one, shooting manual when I'm learning as well, I have to set like everything for every photo for the most part, unless I'm like staying in the same spot, then I can kind of, you don't have to change as much, but it just takes more time. You can't just fire off like 15 shots in a second, you know, like you can with newer cameras, and you only have 36 shots in a roll. I didn't know this, but rolls of film are expensive. This one that I bought 3 rolls for $25 with 36 shots in each roll. And like if you're shooting a lot, that can get really expensive. Luckily, I'm not, like, at least not right now, I'm not firing off shots all the time. Like, I know you can go through a lot of rolls once you really get into it and get good at it, but luckily, I guess that's not me right now. So I'm still like learning and taking my time with it. But that's like part of it that I like, is that it's a little bit slower. And like when I go out with the camera, I'm not really firing off a bunch of shots with it anyways. I'll take like a few shots of things that I really find interesting, or that I really just want to stop and take a photo of. It's not like I'm going through an entire roll of film every time I go out to take some pictures. Really, I'm only taking like a few sometimes, depending on how long I'm out for the day, you know. So far with taking photos with the K1000 has been great. I mean, I don't have anything to really compare it to on the like terms of film photography, but as of writing this, I haven't even finished, or as of recording this, I haven't even finished like a single roll of film. I still have it in here. The like counter says I'm at 33. I've taken 33 photos, and so I should only have like 3 left. I'm kind of excited to get it sent in and then get my scans back and see how they turned out, like if I ruined every single one of them, or if hopefully some of them look decent. But that's over a month and I haven't even went through the whole roll. That's easy for some people to go through several rolls very quickly, but honestly, I haven't been getting to take as many pictures with it as I want, because we haven't had that many nice days here where I'm at. There's been nice days during the week, and I just don't have a lot of time to get out and take pictures at the end of the day. And then every time, like every week the past, like, I don't know, month or two, when it's supposed to be getting nice, it has been right when Friday rolls around, it gets rainy and cold, and then it does that until like Tuesday of the next week, and then it gets nice for a couple of days, and then it rains again. It's supposed to get nicer soon. I'll be able to get out more and take some more photos and develop a couple rolls of film. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the first roll turns out. I'm sure I'll have several that are underexposed or overexposed or blurry from not being in focus, but I guess that's the whole point, so I can adjust in the future, get better, hopefully not ruin too many rolls of film in the process of it. But I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. I wish I would have had some developed right now and scans sent back to me so I can add them to this video, but unfortunately I do not have them, and I was just ready to make a video about this camera just because I've enjoyed it and I wanted to make a little video about it. Once I get a couple more rolls of film developed after I've been shooting with the camera more, I can make a follow-up video and in a couple months and see if anything has changed, if I like it even more, if I don't, if I never want to pick up a film camera again, and then also show what some of my photos look like. And like I said, hopefully I've got a few good ones in there that'll look decent, but we'll see. I've kind of just been, when I'm taking the photos, I'm kind of just more focused on getting everything with the camera set correctly, so I'm not super focused on what I'm taking a picture of. Kind of, I don't know, it's weird, but because I'm just wanting to take pictures with it and practice. And to kind of wrap it up here, so I already know that film photography is not going to be my only mode of taking photos moving forward, and that that wasn't the point of it. When I was getting started, there might be even times I don't always even reach for this K1000 in the future, if I'm just not feeling it. I think it'll be something that I'll take with me on a nice day out or a trip or something, and capture a few photos here and there, and then kind of forget about it, and then develop them later on down the road, and then kind of forget that I took the pictures and then look at them, and it'll be fun to remember the pictures that I took, Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully I can get a few rolls developed, and then I'll make a follow-up video and put some of the pictures that I had developed, some of the scans on the video, and then I can show you guys how they turned out. Hopefully good. Hopefully I have some good ones to show you guys, but I think that's it for now. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.